Looking for a clean energy drink? Yeah, me too. That's why I partnered with Dubby. No sugar crashes, no weird ingredients, just clean, jitterless energy. Dubby energy drinks are perfect for workouts, gaming, podcasts, and those long days. 30 servings per tub, one scoop of energy that lasts. The best part is, it's about $1 per serving, way cheaper than those canned energy drinks. And they have over 19 amazing flavors to choose from. Use my discount code below and link in my bio and get yours today. All right, guys, welcome back to 1265 Unfiltered, episode 3. Thank you so much for being here and allowing me to be a part of your day. I did want to get into the Super Bowl here, just happened. So, man, I can't lie. I didn't think the Patriots would play that bad. I mean, yeah, Drake May's young. It's a super young team, but they got dominated, man. They got dominated from the jump. Their left tackle couldn't guard for his life. He couldn't do anything. I think he gave up more pressures than any tack in that game than like most people all year. So in any game all year, I should say. But yeah, it was bad, man. Drake May couldn't get anything going. I mean, his stats is kind of sneaky. Like his stats don't tell the true story in that one. Like usually I'm a stats guy. So I like to have him to back up my takes, but yeah, I mean, he was seeing ghosts out there, man. He couldn't do anything at all. The Seahawks are real. The Seahawks are real for sure, but I did want to get into like how what this means for the Packers, like what that game specifically means to the Packers and what they need to do for their team to get to the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl. And a lot of it comes down to all the things I said in my last episode. The places of need, what they need to do as far as drafting and everything. Like I said, D line, they need to get another D lineman. Whether that is, I mean, whether we could talk about Lucas Van Ness, but in general, we cannot solely rely on Micah Parsons. When he went down, our defensive numbers dropped dramatically, like not, worse than the year prior. But besides that, we need a D tackle. Devontae Wyatt's great. He gets hurt a lot, and he's more of a pass rusher. He's a great pass rusher, but we need Colby Wooden played a good year for the most part, but we need to get a couple bigger bodies in there, guys with long arms, guys that can take up blocks, stop the run, and we just need to solidify the middle of the D line. Obviously, cornerback. I mean, we're obviously going to get there, right? I mean, they need to draft somebody. Whether I would like to see who's out there free agent wise, but they need to draft someone. I'd say in the second round. I would go second round. I'm going to go through my mock draft here and why. D line, corner, and offensive line. They need to solidify. They need to solidify a center. I would like. I mean, I know they got Elton Jenkins. They're probably going to give him another shot. He played better at guard. He just did. Sean Ryan, he played better at center. Is he great? No. Is he good in the run game? Yeah, he can move bodies, but they need to go get some more D line. They have an issue with, are they going to keep Rasheed Walker? He cost a lot of money on the cap this year. He had a down year. And then what do you do with Jordan Morgan then? You know what I mean? They've been sitting here like moving him around trying to figure that out. And he's such a young player playing all these different positions on the line when he's typically a tackle. I mean, I know they're playing him at guard, but he's a tackle. He has the frame for a tackle, the side moves for a tackle. It's what he did in college. I don't know if they're going to give him a shot. I don't, or a bigger role. I don't know if he's proved it though. There's just too many moving pieces. You know what I mean? When we're in the middle of a Super Bowl window, there's too many moving pieces. They need to know because what are they going to do? They're going to, if you move Zach Tom to left guard, because that's typically, the blind side, you want your better guy, but he plays better at right. And then, but if you do that, you're still moving guys around a bunch. And that inconsistency, especially in the playoffs, when that playoff game specifically against the Bears, there was just too many moving pieces. Way too many moving pieces and guys were uncomfortable. They were all playing out of position. Not that that's the reason they lost the game, but you could tell it was a factor. I would say more so the defense in the fourth quarter and missing 3 field goals was a big reason. I don't blame Jordan Love really, not in that game at all. But like I said, offensive line, defensive line, and corner. Then in the later rounds, they should get some special teamers. They need to make that a point of emphasis with this draft. Need to get some special teamers. If they're going to keep Rich Bisaccia, which obviously they said they are, they need to go get some guys for the special teams. Even if that means putting Keyshawn back there for returns, but they need to get guys who aren't going to be holding all the time. They need to get guys who can block and just overall just play teams better because way too many penalties. It's not even just the dumb plays. Like just I swear to God, for most of that season, I thought every time every time they went to punt or something, you're waiting for that holding call. Usually on the gunner, but just always there was always a holding call, man. That or a block in the back. It's just, they need to clean that up. They need to draft some guys specifically. There's not a lot of needs for this team. So with this draft, especially being a weaker draft, they need to make that a point of emphasis. And if they do those things, this team is as good as Seattle. I mean, Seattle was a complete team. They stayed healthy. I would say even in this draft, they should go get a running back, just another power back, or I don't know if you want a speed guy. I'd say another power back. But yeah, let's get into this here. All right, so round two, pick 52. My mock draft here, I put Brandon Cece. I hope I didn't botch that last name, but South Carolina, you know, he's nicknamed Glitch. He has freakish speed. He has good twitch speed, good lateral movement. He has a good athletic profile. Usually, the Packers typically go for athletes over. I don't want to say over football players, but they usually like athletic profiles. That's usually the way they draft, especially when they go. Just look at Lucas Van Ness. Look at all the people that they draft on defense. It's usually more off athletic traits, size, wingspan, all of that. Brandon Cece, South Carolina cornerback at pick 52. It's a super high need. I know that Keyshawn Nixon and Carrington Valentine they're decent, but Carrington he can't tackle, dude. I mean, I don't understand that at all because you're taught how to wrap up in high school. You know what I mean? And dude, I know you're tackling bigger guys now, but you can't just be throwing your shoulder into guys. You need to wrap up, dude, especially that you're small. Go for an ankle. Either way, Keyshawn Nixon looked good at games and other games. Like when he played against DK, he was getting bullied a little bit. We need to address that room. I'd like to keep all of our corners, but we need to get another guy. All right, my next round, round three, because there's only one pick in round two. I thought there was two picks, but there's not. There's just pick 52. Round three, pick 84. I have Daryl Jackson Jr. of Florida State. Why? He's 6'5", 328. He's an unmovable object. He takes blocks. He handles the run well. Green Bay I mean, Colby Wooden was good this year, but they have really missed TJ Slayton in that spot, man. Like I said, we have great pass rushers. I mean, Devontae Wyatt's his numbers based on a certain amount of snaps, just because he's been hurt a lot, is as good as anybody in the league when it comes to being a pass rusher. But we need a guy, just a bigger body down there, can stop runs, hold blocks, take up blocks with a big wingspan to allow everyone else to succeed. My pick number 4 for pick 120 was Drew Shelton, offensive tackle for Penn State. Why? Green Bay loves Penn State linemen. Rasheed Walker. Shelton is light athletic tackle who excels in pass protection. We need to protect Jordan Love, obviously, but Jordan was the best quarterback in the league when he had time to throw the ball. When he's in that pocket and he has time to throw the ball, there was nobody better than him stats wise. And just watch it. The guy kills it when you give him a little bit of time. Shelton also provides a lot of upside. He's a swing tackle. Green Bay loves to move guys around, obviously. So, I mean, that's huge for them. They need to add more bodies, more options into the offensive line room to challenge guys, see who's the best guy. They need to address this. Round 5, pick 158. I got a kicker. I know that sounds crazy, but we need somebody to challenge McManus because the way I know he was hurt this year, but the way that he was missing kicks, I know he was hurt, but he wasn't hurt in the playoff game. At least not reported. Missing 3 kicks. We need to get another guy in there. We don't know how much longer they're going to keep him. What if he comes into next year and doesn't play well? We've been Since Mason Crosby left, we've been kind of plagued with dealing with kickers. Brandon was good last, not this year, but last year he was great. He was way too inconsistent this year. They need to go get another kicker. Jonah Dalmas, Boise State. The other thing is in divisional games are always close. The Lions are still going to be good next year. The Bears are probably going to get better next year. These divisional games are going to be close. We need to get a kicker that is going to solidify that role, someone we don't have to worry about that walks up there and we're just wondering if he's going to make this kick or not. We need to get another Mason Crosby where we feel pretty good that that ball's going in. Pick number 6 or round number 6, pick 200. I have Taylon Green, quarterback from Arkansas. Malik Willis is going to go. He's for sure. He's probably going to go to the Jets. That's my opinion. They need a quarterback. They love the athletic quarterbacks. He's going to be like a Justin Fields, but better for them. He's going into a situation where that offense, as long as they build it well around him. I know it's a bad organization, but they typically like athletic quarterbacks, and if they can make the system work for him the way Matt LaFleur did. I mean, look, he's a great quarterback. You just have to use him right. But going into why, besides Malik Willis leaving, draft another quarterback, he's a classic developmental value. He's 6'6". He has elite speed, just like Malik Willis. I mean, a little bigger than Malik Willis, but he has elite speed. If he develops, he can be a massive trade chip. He's dropping in this. I don't want to say dropping in this draft, but he's one of those guys that probably should be drafted higher, but he probably won't. Just given it seems like the teams that need quarterbacks are going to probably seek free agency. Besides the Raiders, they're going to probably draft Mendoza. I mean, other than that, it's a weak draft. They're not guys are going to be more so hitting the free agency for quarterbacks or teams, I should say. So, I mean, this is a guy that is a big developmental piece. He's a big body. He's got good speed. He's someone that Matt LaFleur, it'll work in Matt LaFleur's system if they can use him at least a little bit the way Malik Willis was. It's a, I think that's a good solid option for later rounds. You know, round 6, pick 200. Why not? We need to have a backup, right? All right, round 7 gets a little interesting. We have 3 picks in that round. And again, this is somewhere where you can find a diamond in the rough, possibly. The Packers have been great in later rounds like this, finding somebody. So let's see. The Packers have been great in the later rounds, finding guys. So I have at round 7, pick 236. I have Micah Morris out of Georgia, offensive guard. Why the Packers love versatile offensive linemen. Morris is massive, 6'5", 330 pounds. He's a mauler. He's in a pro style program. And on top of that, the Packers love Georgia players, especially to start the season next year. Adding depth like that, Elton Jenkins, you know, tore a ligament. Sean Ryan deals with injuries a lot as well. So to start the year next year, having some more depth at offensive line is just going to help dramatically out the gate for us. We cannot go into next year without drafting more linemen. We have to. All right, next pick in 7th round, pick 254. Going linebacker, mostly for special teams because I would like the Packers to go get another linebacker out of free agency, but if one of these guys can hit, it'd be a good backup linebacker for depth, but more so for special teams. So Isaac Smith, linebacker. Why? Smith is a missile. He's sick. He's super fast. He's 6 foot, 215. He's a hybrid safety as well, who basically lives in the box. There's another bigger safety linebacker, kind of like Javon Bullard, a guy who can play special teams for us. Reports have shown that the scouts love his unhinged play style, kind of like Javon Bullard. Just plays all over the place, just hitting guys, good speed, good size. Smaller for linebacker, but big for safety. So you kind of have that versatile play right there, which is, again, great for special teams. Like out the gate, he can be a day one gunner out the gate for us, which, like I said earlier, we need pretty bad because ours have been terrible. He's probably not going to start at safety. You could think about him more of like an Isaiah McDuffie, but a little bit faster. But again, we need guys like that on our special teams. All right. Pick 257. I got Eric Gentry, again, linebacker, special teams player from USC. Why? You know, we mentioned special teams again. I want to really hammer this, like I said earlier. It's our biggest need besides the few positions I named earlier. And this is where Gentry shines. He's a freak of nature. He's 6'6". He's got a massive wingspan, which is huge. While he's a little light as traditional linebacker, his length makes up for it. He's a nightmare as a kick blocker or as a gunner again. Getting back to the Super Bowl and why, we need a guy that can disrupt passing lanes, block field goals, guy that can just really have a big arm span, have good speed, just a bigger body that can really disrupt the game. So, the final verdict of this whole thing, number one, we're beefing up the trenches. With Jackson Jr. and Morris, we're really helping offensive line and defensive line there, getting some depth. With Dalmas, we're adding more to our kicking room because obviously I've already gone into McManus. We need to get someone to challenge him and just get other options there rather than just pulling people off the street like we did this year. And then adding Gentry and CC. I don't know if I'm saying his name right. I'm sorry if I'm not. But we need to add these chess pieces. Not only at corner do we need the depth, but we just need to have these chess pieces. We need to have more options than we currently have because, again, we're in a Super Bowl window. We need to figure this out now. We have the team. We just need to fill these holes and we'll be ready to go. We'll see how free agency goes. I'd have to take a look at who's available. Like I said, I was really looking at George Pickens. I know that sounds a little crazy. I know Micah was kind of recruiting him at the Pro Bowl, but then right after Dallas franchise tagged him, which I kind of anticipated, but I was really hoping that Jerry would do something stupid and let him walk. So besides free agency and these additions to this mock draft here, I mean, I believe we're going to avoid the number 7 seed. I know we've been plagued by that. Everyone keeps coming at us about that, but which I think is a tad ridiculous that we're the 7 seed guys because one, the first year of Jordan Love's career, we were technically rebuilding. Number two, year two, we were technically rebuilding. This is the first year we were actually a contender within the Jordan Love era. So we need to get away from that. Whether you're a Packers fan or someone else, we need to completely get away from the whole 7 seed thing. Yes, this year that was disappointing. We were plagued by injuries. We lost some of our best players. When we get Tucker Kraft back, Michael Parsons, Devontae Wyatt, Elton Jenkins, et cetera, and et cetera, we will not be a number 7 seed next year. We will be a 1 through 3. I promise you, we will be. We will be a Super Bowl contender if we stay remotely healthy. And with these draft picks, I think it'll help us have a dominant system to really just change next year entirely. I will be doing other mock drafts until the draft comes up. I'll be watching the combine, see what else changes, as far as reports, what the Packers are looking at, this and that, and whatever. But I just want to say thank you so much for being here and allowing me to be a part of your day. This is 1265 Unfiltered. Follow us on the socials, subscribe on YouTube. Our other pages are Off the Scoreboard Show and Chasing Goats podcast. If you guys like a podcast that talks about food, movies, all sports, we do top 5 rankings, and it's a group of us guys that just talk ball. So if you guys are interested in that, go check that out on YouTube and Instagram. Again, Off the Scoreboard Show, Chasing Goats podcast, and 1265 Unfiltered. Thank you so much, and go Pack Go.